It's time to get your geek on with Dave Gramillion.
Ah, yes. Welcome here. I am Dave Gramillion. This is Get Your Geek On, powered by Southtown Games on Pleasanton Road near Loop 410 on the south side of San Antonio, where your gaming family wants to welcome you. Here we will talk Star Wars, Star Trek, DC, Marvel, video gaming, really all things geek that have dominated this little world of ours. You see, geek is not what it was 20 or 30 years ago. Geek is in. Geek is very in. Geek is now the mainstream, and we're here to talk the latest and greatest that is geek right here on 930 AM The Answer Talk Radio and 930amtheanswer.com. This is Season 2, Episode 28. This is officially our Christmas episode, our second one on the air here. Happy holidays to everyone out there. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. I hope you celebrate it well. Hope that you celebrate it in peace. Hope that you celebrate it with family, friends, loved ones, and you celebrate it safely, please. Oh, goodness. Tonight, we're going to have a little bit of fun on this show. There's not a lot of breaking news out there. Usually I have 2 to 3 pages of notes in front of me, and there's times, many times actually, when we don't get to all the news. Something's got to get cut. But tonight there's just not that much out there. So we're going to take it easy a little bit. We're going to have a little more fun than we usually do, talk a little more show news, and just kind of say hi to everybody out there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We are going to look ahead to 2018. It is literally around the corner. Now, next week, we're gonna fall back and take a look at 2017 as a whole. But this show, we're going to look ahead. We're going to tell you what movies to look for. We're going to tell you which ones are going to be the big ones, which ones are going to be the duds, and we are going to call our top 5 at the box office. Yes, it's not even close. I mean, we're like 10 days away from 2018, but we're still calling our top 5. That'll happen coming up here. Also, we have some DC news, and it's something that I don't think anyone's really surprised about. In fact, it's something that I think a lot of us supported 2-3 weeks ago. We got some Zack Snyder news we'll talk about, and also Star Wars. I'm going to go off on a little bit of a rant about the fan base and The Last Jedi. The Star Wars fan base has been tearing themselves apart. So much so now that the mainstream media, USA Today, CNN, those guys, they've actually noticed the divisiveness within the fan base. So we'll be talking about that coming up as well. And what do you want for your geeky Christmas? You want a TARDIS, sonic screwdriver, a transporter, a couple of photon torpedoes? You know, for when traffic gets too bad, just saying. We'll be talking about that as well. But before we can start that, I got to make sure that I have everything I need in order to run the premier talk radio show for geeks in the United States and rapidly across the world. And the first thing I need is something to drink. That works out fine for me. I also happen to have a back scratcher handy here in the studio because it gets that one spot in the middle of your back. You know what I'm talking about. And this thing is a godsend. It saves me from having to squirm in my seat here. And I also happen to have with me, on behalf of my friends over at Saber Forge, True Blue, my lightsaber that I picked up from Wizard World in Austin. It retired Old Blue, my lightsaber of many years. Here's hoping that this one will last as, hopefully, give me many years of service as well. And I think that'll pretty much cover it. Let me make sure that we have that we're also wearing something geeky as well. Got to represent. Now, for those of y'all who are watching us on our Facebook feed, that's facebook.com/GYGO radio. We do a Facebook live broadcast with every recording. Hello, waving to y'all up there. Also, I'm wearing my Spurs Santa cap because, well, it's that time of year again. It's pretty much the only time I get to break this sucker out. So I like to wear it. It is our second Christmas. Wore one last year, and I'm wearing this one this year. And I'm also wearing my Star Wars San Antonio Missions t-shirt as well. So I've got the local area covered.
2 weeks ago would have been the time to be wearing that particular hat.
Nah, I'll take this. This works out fine. Now, as we look to my left, your right, as you look across the radio dial, you will see the man, the myth, the legend, the founder of the Star Wars Society of San Antonio. He is our minion, Peter Gonzalez.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Hey.
Doing right? It's getting in the mood for Christmas, putting the jackets on because it's actually cooled down to a nice 75 degrees here in South Texas. So we got to get everything ready because it's Christmas time and it's, I got to get the jackets out and get the marshmallows.
Well, the weather's actually been really lousy the last few days. This is the first day of real good weather we've had in about a week.
Yeah.
Got to break out the shorts again. It's mid to late December, and we're wearing, I'm wearing my khaki shorts. So,
And they have the air conditioner on.
I got the air conditioner, cranked up. So, Minion, what are you rocking there?
I'm wearing my Star Wars T-shirt, and the funny thing, it's got all the classic characters on here. And since hopefully everybody's seen Last Jedi by now. Funny thing about it, it's got Yoda. Boba Fett.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, consider half the people on these shirt are dead.
They should move here to there.
Right.
Absolutely. Okay, and if you picked up that voice also, that is the voice of, you look further to my left, your right, across the radio dial, you will see the man spinning the ones and zeros, our sound prognosticator. He would be Goose.
No, there's two O's in Goose.
Goose, how you doing?
Doing well, sir. How are you?
Pretty good. What are you rocking there?
Well, I've got, because not only is this, let me bring the camera down just a little bit, expand out. So, Star Wars, but also because Monday is Christmas, and we all know what's coming on BBC America Monday night.
Yes, we do. Yeah, buddy.
Got a little bit of Doctor Who right over here. Now, this right here is what we call a little mashup, a little geeky mashup. Now, David, where do people go if they want more geeky mashup t-shirts?
The best place that I like to go is Ripped Apparel, and that's riptapparel.com. We get a lot of our shirts there. We've got some really great shirts out that way, but it's shirts, hoodies, art, collectibles, and so on. If you use the promo code GYGO at checkout, you get an automatic 10% off. No questions. That's on their daily tees. That's on clearance items. Doesn't matter. You get an extra 10% off.
Right, and and they have sales, but sometimes those sales are not applicable to the clearance or to the daily deals. Our promo code GYGO at checkout is valid on any and all purchases from rippedapparel.com.
Alrighty then, I think we're just about fired and ready to go here. Let's get some show news out of the way. First, we had quite the milestone that was hit late Wednesday night. Our Facebook page, which again, facebook.com/GYGO radio, finally hit 10,000 likes. Alrighty, 10,000 likes. And keep in mind, our time on Facebook has been fraught with peril. I think that's the best way to say it. We actually had our original page, which was GYGO Official. That page was taken away from us in September. I never got a reason why. I filed numerous tickets. I tried their Facebook Help Center. Never got a single answer back. The page was just gone. So we had to rebuild. We borrowed an older page that I had set up from my author days, kind of hijacked that one, morphed and transformed it into GYGO Radio, and finally hit 10,000 likes. So that was huge. I want to thank everyone for liking the page. Obviously, if you're watching our Facebook live stream, hopefully you would have liked the page by now, so we appreciate that as well. 10,000 likes, man.
And there are consequences. No good deed goes unpunished.
Well, ain't that the truth? I also got the opportunity to go see Jumanji and Downsizing as early screenings. Unfortunately, I showed up 20 minutes early to Jumanji with my wife, and it was booked.
What?
The entire theater was booked, and there was an overflow line. So I was unable to get in and see Jumanji. However, the same people who ran that also ran the Downsizing screening, and as soon as they saw me, they were like, no, go to the front of the line. You're good. Just go. Get up there, please. They felt so bad that I missed the Jumanji movie, so I caught Downsizing. That is the new Matt Damon movie. I'm sorry. I mispronounced his name.
Matt Damon!
I always do that. Matt Damon! So I saw the new Matt Damon movie.
Matt Damon!
And, yeah, it was okay. I did write a full review up there on our website, which is getyourgeekon.org. I penned a review. So I'm not going to go into it too much here. I'll say this. It was interesting. The focus was kind of all over the place. It started off as a comedy, and then a drama, and then class warfare, and then like against the 1%, then back to comedy, then end of the world, then environmental message, then back to comedy. The focus was all over the place. So that could use a little tightening up. It is an intriguing film, but I will say this: do not bring the kids. Do not bring your little ones to see this Matt Damon movie.
So it's not Honey, I Shrank the Kids.
It's not even a little bit, because there are 3 different scenes of male full frontal nudity.
Well, that's not nice.
And I don't mean the one where, like, the guy's, got a hand in the covering, no, there's no covering whatsoever. And I just, no, do not bring the kiddies to this one. Plus, they drop quite a few F-bombs toward the end. Hong Chow plays a Vietnamese dissident, and she did. She stole the show. She's hilarious in this film. So my hat's off to her for that one. But yeah, just don't bring the kids. Just don't do that. A B-. I give it a solid B-, like a 7.5 out of 10, something along those lines. So that's downsizing. I want to thank our friends over at Legion M. If you have not had an opportunity to check these guys out, it's like crowdsourcing movies. They are getting ready to help crowdsource an upcoming Nicolas Cage movie. Nick Cage. If you ever heard of the Anne Hathaway movie Colossal,
oh, that was awesome.
That was great.
They helped to crowdfund that one as well, and you can get in on this. John Biscardi is one of the high muckety mucks over there, and we love him. He's a great guy. We interviewed him once at Wizard World. Great head on his shoulders. This guy is driven, enthusiastic. He really knows what he's doing. Legion M does as well. Check out Legion M. That's my little tip of the day. I suppose you could say that. Real quickly, also reminder that next week we're doing our year in review. We'll review 2017 next week. This week we're going to look ahead to 2018. But let's look just a little bit backwards. We're not quite done with this year just yet, and the year is not done with us either, because this show has been nominated for 2 Best of the City awards from San Antonio Magazine. I was surprised to learn this last week. They don't have a Best Radio category. I'm not sure why. They didn't have Best Radio Show. But they did, however, nominate us for Best Podcast. Every show that we do gets archived to our podcast at 930amtheanswer.com. You can also find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud as well. Just look for Get Your Geek On with Dave Gramillion. You'll find us. So we're up for that, Best Podcast, and I'm up for Best Radio Personality in the City. 7th largest city in the United States, and I'm up for Best Radio Personality. Please go to San Antonio Magazine and vote for us. You'll see it'll say Best of the City or Best of, and you can vote for us there. We'll also put the links in the chat so you can find that as well. Or if you're listening to us on the radio, you go to our pinned post on our Facebook page. It's the very first one. You can vote for us there as well. I think it'd be tremendous if we won. Just one of those, because it would say a lot about geeky shows on the radio. Because I've been told before that this show should not be on radio. I've been told that geeks belong on...
It should be on television.
Well, yeah, no kidding. But that this show belongs in the podcast world or the YouTube world, and that doesn't belong on radio. And I think it would be a tremendous step forward in the world of geekdom to show how mainstream we are if we ended up winning at least one of those awards. Now, I'm up against the guys from KJ97, which is a country music show for Best Radio Personality. I mean, if I won, I think it'd be a huge upset because, it's country music in Texas. I mean, come on now.
So I had the opportunity, when you first told me that, I had the opportunity to talk to William Shatner.
Yes.
About what you said about that, somebody said. And William Shatner had a quote about that person who told you.
Let's hear from good old Bill Shatner.
I think you did a little too much LDS.
Well, I disagree. I think I've done just the right amount of it.
No, not you, the other person.
Oh, the other. Right. Yeah. If the SEC is listening, then no, we're good. We're good.
The other person.
So please vote for us.
Absolutely.
Please do.
Vote for the show. Vote for me.
Arms.
Let's do it.
We're looking for you out there to vote for us.
Because I'm really tired of people saying that geeks belong in this little box. Don't go outside your comfort zone, geeks. Oh no, y'all are cute when you're on the big screen, but don't go in the mainstream. And I think we can make a serious statement about that.
Yes, we can. And that's because, let's be honest here, when it comes to us on talk radio, those other people...
Alrighty, so with that being said, let's go ahead. We're going to look back at 2017 next week. Let's look ahead now to 2018. One of the things that has really bridged both years now, 17 and going into 18, is Laser Legend. Laser Legend is up on the north side of San Antonio off a Lookout Road in 1604. Not quite I-35, not quite Rolling Oaks Mall, kind of in between there. This is a tremendous place to go. They have great food. They have great drinks, great party room, a 2-floor laser tag arena. Your kids are about ready to get out of school, if they're not already.
We're out.
Yeah, okay. Y'all are out. I think my wife is out or close to it. After the Christmas time is over, they're going to need something to do. Take them over to Laser Legend for sure.
And don't they have a great weekday deal going on right now for laser tag?
Oh, they actually have a monthly deal going on as well. You can get unlimited laser tag for a month.
On weekdays.
On weekdays, yes, that's correct. So, but since it's, everyone's got those 2 weeks off.
Oh, those photon torpedoes. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, so good. So good. 4,000 square foot video arcade area, video game arcade area, including Star Trek Pinball. The Walking Dead game was really good. Jurassic Park, Star Wars Battle Pod, driving games, racing games. Oh, I would call it a plethora. Would you not call it a plethora of games up there, Minion?
I definitely would. What is a plethora?
That is an excellent question. I think we need to help define what is a plethora.
You have a plethora. Jefe, what is a plethora? Why, guapo? Well, you told me I have a plethora. And I just would like to know if you know what a plethora is. I would not like to think that a person would tell someone he has a plethora and find out that that person has no idea what it means to have a plethora.
So definitely you want to check out our friends at Laser Legend.
Now, of course, our first event going on in 2018 is PAX South.
Woo-hoo. Absolutely.
January 12th to the 14th, downtown San Antonio.
Is that 12th to the 14th? Uh-huh. Okay, wow, cool. All right, and as part of our deal to hit 10,000 likes, thank you for reminding me, the following will happen at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. First, Goose.
Yes.
You are wearing Legion M temporary tattoos on your face.
On my face.
And you will be wearing My Little Pony sunglasses.
So, an interesting thing about that.
This is for a day, okay? Let's
just one day? Not all 3 days?
Just one day.
Okay, cool. Because my birthday is like right in the middle of that.
Okay, all 3 days for you. How about that?
I hate you so much right now.
Minion, you are going to be wearing the Princess Leia outfit from episode 4.
Episode 4.
No Slave Leia outfit. No.
They won't let me through the door.
No. It said it will be the white Princess Leia outfit, complete with the cinnamon bun hair.
With the buns.
So he'll be wearing that for a day at
Are you
going to
get those from Daphne Zuniga?
If I can get them away from her, yeah.
And finally, I will take a pie to the face. All right, now I'm torn between banana cream and lemon meringue. I'm not doing apple or pecan because, come on, people, that would hurt. Come on.
Oh, come on.
I have an idea.
Not a pork pie.
No, I have an idea.
Can't be a pork pie.
No. Something to think about.
Okay, something to think about.
And I want our Facebook peoples to kind of, I need y'all, when I tell this idea, I need your reaction to it. We might be, doing contests between now and then. What if, as part of the contest, what about if one of those winners gets to be the one?
To hit me in the pie with? No, okay, well, first of all, my wife would have to fight them for it because she wants
There's
to
a
do
line.
Yeah, there's a line. I'll take that into
selling
consideration.
Tickets for that line.
I'll take that into consideration. But I'll tell you what, for those of y'all who are on our Facebook chat, facebook.com/GYGO radio, I want to see, hit me with an emoji, thumbs up for lemon meringue or a heart for banana cream. All right, and we'll take a look at that. So the thumbs up emoji is for a lemon meringue pie to hit me in the face at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. If you do the heart, it'll be banana cream. So just keep that in mind and hit us up with those emojis.
Temporary tattoos only last week. It's a good thing I work in radio and don't have a real job.
No, yeah, there you go. All right, so let's look ahead to 2018. So here's what we have. Here are the movies coming out. You got pen and paper? Good. Here we go. Cloverfield, 2018. February 2nd. 50 Shades Freed on February 9th.
That's at the sequel or something?
That's the second sequel.
It's the third in the trilogy there.
Yawn.
So 50 Shades, I suppose.
It's the Return of the Jedi of the 50 Shades.
So there will be Ewoks involved?
Never mind.
I think I think that movie's already done the slave Leia bit. I'm just
Ewoks
saying.
are naked already, so that's the
that's
funny
true.
thing.
Okay,
We
so
don't
are the
wanna get into
droids.
that.
The droids are too. So
I have no, and I'm not going there.
I don't want to know.
all right, here we go. All right,
Okay.
But here's the big one: February 16th. This is your Valentine's Day weekend movie, Black Panther.
Yes.
Okay, seriously, I don't think many women are gonna be like, yes, I want to go see Black Panther on Valentine's Day.
No, but they'll want to take their guys to go see it. So there you go. Ladies, you can give back a little bit here. Black Panther on February 16th.
Okay.
Then we go into March.
Yes.
Wrinkle in Time, the Disney movie.
that looks like
That does look
that's-
good.
That'll
That'll
be
be
more.
trailer for that.
March 9th, and then Tomb Raider the following week. The new Tomb Raider, March 16th. No
Yeah.
Angelina Jolie. New Tomb Raider, March 16th. And then we round out March with Ready Player One on March 30th.
I'm
which is
looking
going to
forward
be
to that.
your pick for the month.
Yep, that's going to be a fun one. I'm a little disturbed at how far they're distancing themselves from the book, but it still looks great.
It's a 2-hour movie.
Yeah, that's true.
If they were going to do a trilogy, that'd be different.
April 13th, The New Mutants comes out. Yeah, well, we'll see. Then the big one,
Oh, buddy.
Avengers Infinity War on May the 4th.
We're there.
Which is funny that it comes out on Star Wars
On
Day.
Star Wars Day. Isn't that interesting?
I'm gonna be
Because
so
Solo couldn't come out on Star Wars Day.
Disney's not respecting my fan base.
I'm so conflicted as to where to go.
Oh, my goodness. Then the Solo movie, the Red Cup Solo movie, will be coming
Which
out
is also a Disney movie.
on May 25th. Oh, at this point, what isn't a Disney movie? May 25th is the Solo movie. Deadpool 2 on June the 1st.
That's not a Disney movie.
Not
yet.
not yet. Followed by Incredibles 2,
Yeah, that's
a
a
Disney
Disney
movie,
movie.
June 15th, and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, June 22nd. So in a 2-month span, for May and June, you have Avengers Infinity War, Solo movie, Deadpool 2, Incredibles 2, and Jurassic World. Wow. That is a summer lineup.
Take my money.
Start budgeting now, folks.
Then it keeps going. Ant-Man 2, July 6th.
Aha.
Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
No.
Eh.
No.
You know you want to see that. Goose.
Not
Come
go.
on.
The regular one, like the first round of Teen Titans cartoons. Yeah, I'd go see that in a heartbeat. Teen Titans Go just looks silly.
No.
Then we have nothing for August and September
Yes.
until Venom on October 5th.
Ah.
Ooh.
That is a Sony picture, so brace yourself for
Without
that one.
Spider-Man.
Oh, boy. X-Men Dark Phoenix, November 2nd.
Yeah.
Fantastic Beasts 2, November 16th. And Wreck-It Ralph 2, November 21st. Wreck-It Ralph wrecks the internet? We'll see. Then Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That's the Miles Morales animated one. Will be December 14th.
And so that's coming out on theaters and not just direct-to-video?
On theaters.
Okay, that's animated and it's Morales.
Then keep an eye on this. Bumblebee and an Aquaman movie. Not Bumblebee and Aquaman together, but 2 different movies. Bumblebee and an Aquaman movie come out the same day.
I was about to say.
There'd be
wait
a lot of
minute.
yellow in that movie.
December 21st is the fight for Christmas. Listen to this. Bumblebee movie, December 21st. Aquaman movie, December 21st. Christmas Day, Mary Poppins Returns. Ooh. That is going to be a huge fight for Christmas. And remember,
Mary Poppins Returns. Those trailers have to knock it out of the park.
but you remember the time when everybody said December was a dead time for movies? Wow, let's not do that again. Let's that was creepy. All sorts of creepy. All right, so what movie do you think? Originally I thought top 5 at the box office, but I don't think we have enough time for that. So let's talk the top movie at the box office. What's going to be number 1 at the box office in 2018?
Infinity War.
I agree. Infinity War.
Over the Solo movie.
Yes.
I think so. I mean, we haven't seen anything yet from Solo.
Over
Yet.
Jurassic World.
Yes.
I think so. But don't forget also, I think Deadpool will probably pull it into.
I think Deadpool 2 is going to surprise a lot of people.
But I still say Infinity War is going to be number 1.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm really hoping somebody will put up a fight, but I can see Infinity War. I think Infinity War and The Last Jedi are going to come close. I think it's going to be closer than most people think. I really do. That's going to be really close. Now, speaking of The Last Jedi, we're going to get into our in-depth rant in the second half of the hour, which is coming up. We're almost out of time. But
Spoiler filled?
I'll think about it. I'm not sure just yet. We'll come back to me after the break. But get this. So Alley Cat Cosplay called $200 million at the box office. That was her
Yes.
prediction when she was here as our guest host. Brian called 250 million opening weekend,
Yes.
and I called 220. And I'm sad to say that none of us were right. He got 220 million, 9,587. I was off by $9,500, people. I'm so sorry.
I called 260, so I was way off.
I'm sorry.
Well, she is Wonder Woman, so yeah, she knows these things.
But still, 220 million, I nailed it. I mean, that was sarcasm, of course. I nailed the box office prediction, so that was awesome. 220 million opening weekend for Star Wars The Last Jedi is behind The Force Awakens, and last I checked on Thursday, it was about 40 to 50 million behind where The Force Awakens was at this time in 2015. So, coming up after the bottom half of the hour, we got the news break, but we'll be right back here on 9:30 a.m. The Answer and 930amtheanswer.com. Alrighty, we are back from the bottom of the hour news break. This is Get Your Geek On, and I am Dave Gramillion. This is brought to you by our friends over at Southtown Games on Pleasanton Road near Loop 410 on the south side of San Antonio, where your gaming family wants to welcome you. If you missed the first half of our show, well, we talked about quite a bit, and you can listen to it on our, I almost said Emmy nominated. I don't know why I said that. I guess it's just kind of in the brain.
Later.
On
That's
our
coming later.
on our San Antonio Magazine nominated podcast over at 930amtheanswer.com. Also on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Stitcher. We talked about some show news. I saw the Downsizing movie with Matt Damon. Got an early screening to that. Also, we talked about how next week was our year in review, but this week we talked about what was coming up in 2018, the latest movies, the best movies, the worst movies, which ones you want to go see, and so on and so forth.
And what else did we talk about?
We talked about how our Facebook page hit 10,000 likes. Very, very happy about that. Also, how our show has become nominated for its best podcast, and I've been nominated for best radio personality in the city of San Antonio. So good times are certainly here. However, not all is well in Mudville.
Uh-oh.
Not even a little bit. In fact, we're going to have to go out there and talk about some Star Wars news.
I'm looking forward to completing your training. In time, you will call me Master.
Alrighty, so The Last Jedi has officially had its opening weekend. It is now in its second weekend. I predicted about a 43% drop-off, which isn't terrible. It sounds bad, but keep in mind Justice League was a 56% drop. So, just...
there's news about that coming later.
Keep that in mind as well. For the box office opening weekend, I'm sad to say that I was off by $9,587. It hit 220 million, which was my prediction, and then went over by 95.87. So I gotta say I'm pretty happy about that. All right, pretty real close. That's probably about as close as you can actually get on that one. So I'm a little pat on my back for that one. However, not all is well in the Star Wars fan base land. I'm sad to say. The fans are starting to shred the movie, and it's
when
just
the chips are down. These civilized people, they'll eat each other.
That's exactly what the fan base has been doing. The movie itself is a little divisive, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. But the fan base is just eating each other. It's absolutely going bonkers on social media. If you like the movie, there's a certain reaction. I mean, there are two factions, first of all. There's those that like the movie and those that hate the movie. And if you like the movie, then those that hate you say that you're wrong. And if you hate it, then those like it. I mean, it's terrible. It really is. You can't have an opinion about the movie without being just slammed for it and shredded for it. And here's the problem. This is exactly the problem. It doesn't follow your standard formula. Now, I'm not going to spoil the movie for you. I'm not. I'm not going to do that. There are plenty of reviews out there that'll do it. I'm not going to do that. But it doesn't follow the standard formula. And that is what upsets Star Wars fans the most. They don't even know it. They're like nitpicking certain things. I didn't like Luke. I didn't like Rey. I didn't like Snoke. But what they really don't like is how it didn't follow the standard formula. That's what's driving them crazy. They don't even know it. Now, on Rotten Tomatoes, the fan score is what everybody points to, right? Everybody says, oh, look at the fan score. Look at the fan score. The critics gave it a 93%, and the fans gave it a 57%. which is disastrous. But it has been revealed that it's trolls. It's extremely easy just to make an account and downvote the movie, give it a 1 star without even having seen it. So people on 4chan admitted that they were behind it. Some of the EU crazies out there, they're behind it. They specifically gave the movie a 1-star review to drag the scores down. So don't be fooled by that fan rating on Rotten Tomatoes. That doesn't happen. And there were some comments out there that I saw on social media that it was the worst movie ever. Not the worst movie, not the worst Star Wars movie, the worst movie of all time.
Beating out Plan 9 from outer space.
Again, Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Hey.
Star Trek 5?
Star Trek 5, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, Birdemic, and The Room, apparently.
Oh, no, that's saying a lot.
That is saying a lot. So they're saying it's the worst movie of all time. But here's the thing. This has been proven to me wholeheartedly. You can't please the fan base anymore. You absolutely cannot give the fans what they want. There are way too many people out there who believe that they themselves know what's best for the franchise. They have become so personally invested, surrounding themselves with shelves and rooms of Star Wars action figures and ships and vehicles and all that, that they feel personally invested and that they know what's best. And if the new movie doesn't meet their individual expectations, then it is the single worst thing of all time. That is the view of those that are just livid in the fan base. And it's really actually kind of sad. It's gotten to the point now where people are circulating petitions around on change.org to have the movie removed from canon because it doesn't meet their expectations. It's not a bad movie. It's not. Seriously, go watch The Room and Birdemic back to back and then tell me The Last Jedi is a bad movie. It's not a bad movie. It's not Justice League bad. It's not. There have been some bad movies this year. It's not Catwoman bad. It's not Geely bad. It's not a bad movie. But people are petitioning to have it removed from the canon because it's their canon. I'm using the air quotes here. It's their canon. And if it doesn't meet their expectations, then it's crap in their minds. Here's the thing about the movie. I said earlier, it doesn't follow the standard formula. The standard formula is good guys have to face overwhelming odds, usually an evil, bad empire that they have to beat. So they hatch this plan. They follow the plan. Things happen that almost derail the plan, but not quite. And they come through against all odds. You know, it's that plan that it's so crazy it just might work. And then they come through at the end, and usually with some dumb guards on the other side, and they win the day. And that's not what happens in The Last Jedi.
No, that's not what happened in Empire Strikes Back, though, either.
No, they were on the run.
They were on the run, but their plan still pretty much worked out. They weren't trying to fight the Empire in Empire Strikes Back. Well, hey, they weren't trying to fight the Empire in Empire Strikes Back. They were just trying to get away. In this one, they were trying to get away, but they still had a plan as to disabling the Dreadnought and how they were going to. This is still not a spoiler, by the way, but all right. So here's what we got to do. We got to get this MacGuffin over here to this, and we can do this. Oh, but we got to slice through the shield, and we've got to. The timing has, and we can do. Oh, but oh God, the odds of this happening are. Oh, don't worry about the odds. We'll take care of blah 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 blah, and it didn't work. Our heroes are fallible.
What?
Our heroes are fallible. They make mistakes. And much like in Empire Strikes Back, they don't win. Maybe that is a little bit of a spoiler.
Well, yeah.
But
are we allowed to talk spoilers?
They win, just not in the conventional sense.
They survive.
Well, that's true. They win and they lose. But our heroes make mistakes. Our heroes are fallible. And because that doesn't follow the formula, this movie is a lot about self-discovery. It's a lot about who is Rey, who is Kylo, who is Snoke, who is Luke. This movie is a lot about self-discovery, and because there's only one lightsaber duel in it, and because the space battle may not have been the epic space battle you were looking for, and because it didn't meet your expectations, it's a bad movie, according to the fan base.
Okay. Well, kind of what I kind of got out of this, of course, what I noticed is there's definite character arcs, and you notice this when I talk about this on the review that we did last Friday. There's character arcs, everyone there has a time to kind of grow. Even BB-8 had a time, something in there. And I think what I got from out of Luke, because a lot of people didn't like the way how they handle Luke, but I think, and minor spoiler stuff here, I think that Luke is going through a period of not only just self-discovery, but also self-forgiveness.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing with Luke. Because people say, oh my God, I can't believe that Luke would actually act this way. Luke is apparently just about giving up on everything. Again, that's not much of a spoiler because you got that from the trailers, that he's hiding. He's done. And that is because after 30 years, the guy's just broken. And he actually points that out in the movie itself, that his own inflated ego, because he lived after Return of the Jedi, is what brought about his downfall, because he's human. He's a legend because he survived, but he's not a legend because he's the greatest of all time. He is fallible. Michael Jordan misses shots. LeBron James misses shots. Tom Brady, has bad passes. These people are fallible. They make mistakes, and the fan base is going bonkers because of it. And let me tell you something, fan base. Let me tell you something, okay? You have been given a movie that takes risks. You slammed The Force Awakens because it was too safe. It's too much like A New Hope. Well, fine. Now you get something different.
And you still complain.
You still hate it. You don't know what you want anymore. Unless it's like nonstop lightsaber fights and nonstop space battles. Well, you know what? That makes a pretty crappy movie. Not a pretty crappy movie, a very crappy movie. You don't want that. You think you do, but you don't know what you want. And the reason why your little fan theories never went anywhere, that's the reason why you're not in Hollywood right now making movies. That's why. You are so wrong on what you want. You are so wrong on what you think you want, that when you get a genuinely good movie, a movie that makes you think, a movie that makes you question yourself and your self-worth, a movie that is intelligent, a movie that is not your standard formula movie. This movie takes risks. This movie goes out there. You hate it. What do you want, fan base? You hated The Force Awakens because it was too safe. You hate this one because it takes too many risks. What do you want out of this movie? What do you want out of this franchise?
I know what they want.
Non-stop lightsaber fights?
No, they actually want the EU books to become movies.
Yeah.
And it's not going to happen. And you know what? If that happened, that would have been the single greatest mistake that Lucasfilm could have made. And I'll tell you why. It's the same reason they're shredding The Last Jedi. Because as soon as Mara Jade opens her mouth on screen, that's not how I pictured her. That's not how she was to sound. Her hair is not the right shade of red.
That's not the way she's supposed to look.
Her lightsaber's not that shade of purple or or violet or whatever.
It's like what we talked about when we did the review. Is like the one thing that's going to Star Wars fans are going to hate the most are their own movies.
That's right. The fan base. The movie itself is about a fear of change and a fear of the future. And go figure, the fan base is actually embracing that. Listen to me, fan base. Listen to me very closely. This movie, 10 years from now, is going to be loved, much like Empire Strikes Back. You want to talk about comparisons, The Force Awakens to A New Hope and Last Jedi to Empire Strikes Back? If Empire Strikes Back came out today, it would be shredded. It would be shredded by the fan. There's not a single doubt in my mind it would be shredded. The Dagobah scene would be too boring. The talk about the Force would be too weird. And you wouldn't be able to get the philosophy. You wouldn't understand what was happening in the cave with Luke and Vader.
Or Yoda would be too muppety.
Yoda would be too muppety and too silly. Why is he acting that way? This movie would be shredded. And yet it is the most beloved Star Wars movie of all time.
And the good
guys
question. Lose in Empire.
So on our Facebook chat, that can be found at facebook.com/GYGO radio. John Biscardi of Legion M says, the fan base seems to have been trained by 6-minute YouTube fan films.
That's right. That's what they want. They want if you ask people what their favorite lightsaber duel is, it's nothing from the original trilogy.
Nobody liked Blade Runner in 1982.
And nobody liked it in 2049 because it's too intellectual. It makes you think. The problem with the fan base is rapidly becoming a problem everywhere. And that's we want Michael Bay movies. Think about that for a minute. Let that sink in. You don't want a Francis Ford Coppola think movie. You don't want an Alfred Hitchcock think movie. You don't want to come out of a movie and think to yourself, wow, that changed something that I think. What you want is a Darth Maul lightsaber fight for 2 hours. That's what you want, fan base, and that's why this film is shredded. This film, the cave scene with Rey, was brilliant. And everyone's like, I don't get it. Because you have to think, people, it's self-discovery. Her greatest fear is being alone. What is she down in the cave? She's by herself. Different versions of her, but it's just her. That is her greatest fear, that she has to go out and discover who she is by herself. How many of us have that same fear? Everyone.
Yeah.
Growing up as a teenager or early in college, you know, that whole who am I thing? Doing that on your own is terrifying.
Having it in as a midlife crisis.
Absolutely. So we have an exclusive quote here. I actually got a quote from both sides of the collective fan base. It was not easy, but I was put it together. So if you like The Last Jedi, then the other side says, wrong! If you hate The Last Jedi with every fiber of your being, because you don't get it, then the other side says, wrong! It was not easy to get those quotes, by the way.
Yeah.
That was got the collective, like hundreds of millions of people had to get the collective quote going on there. Wrong! Exactly. Thank you. So this is the end of my rant here, because we got to talk about other things, and I'm just going to go bonkers otherwise. Star Wars fans were given a gift. This movie is different. This movie will be studied. This movie bucks the trend of what a standard Hollywood Michael Bay piece of garbage movie is. Transformers makes hundreds of millions of dollars, but you won't go see Valerian. You won't go see Blade Runner 2049. You won't go see a smart film, but you'll turn out in droves to go see Michael Bay. You'll go out in droves to go see Avatar. You'll go out in droves to go see Star Wars. Well, guess what? We finally got the Star Wars movie that we wanted. It makes you think. It makes you question. Yes, there are issues. I'm so not saying this is a perfect film at all. In fact, I have plenty of issues with it. But you know what? There was a massive plot hole in Empire Strikes Back 2 as well. Not 2 as in like a sequel or anything. Return of the Jedi is basically Empire Strikes Back Part 2. It doesn't stand on its own until after Yoda dies, and that's more than halfway in the movie. You want a stunt fan film. You're not going to get it. You got a smart film. You should be glad. You should be celebrating that you didn't get what J.J. Abrams gave the Trekkies in Into Darkness.
But
Holy
then we got Beyond,
God.
which was great.
Yeah,
was
but
awesome.
we still got Into Darkness, which everybody just adored to death because of all the action scenes and the explosions and everything. Guys,
Because it was
guys,
Star Trek Wars.
guys, and ladies to an extent, you got a smart movie, and you're killing it, and as a result, you're killing the franchise. Just take the time to think about this film in a different way. It doesn't follow the standard formula. Now, I don't want this to be the whole, you hate it because you don't get it. You can get it, but you've got to change. You've got to shift your paradigm. You've got to think about this for a second. Luke said it best. This is not going to go the way you think. Change how you think about movies. Change about what you want to see in movies. Want a better movie. Want a better quality of movie. Demand a better quality movie and you'll get it. Or you can go keep seeing Michael Bay movies. That whatever floats your boat.
How about both?
Well, you can have popcorn movies, that's fine. But the trend seems to be that the popcorn movies, the dumbed down battleship movies, those are getting more and more at the box office. Star Wars deserves better than a 2-hour-long lightsaber duel. In fact, I loved it. Well, okay, here's a spoiler. Ready? Here you go. Like for 30 seconds. Here we go. Spoiler time. I loved it when Luke threw the lightsaber over his shoulder because it cemented to me that Star Wars is not about the glow stick of destiny. Look, this right here, this is a prop. This is a tool. This lightsaber that I'm holding in my hand is not what Star Wars is about at its core. It's not. And that's why the kid at the end of the movie was one of my favorite parts. I didn't like it at first. I admit, I thought it was campy, schlocky, and full of Disney moments. But the more I thought about it, the more I like it, because you know what it's about? It's about inspiring kids. Mm-hmm. It's about firing up the imagination. It's about making you inside think that you can be better than what you are right now. And you cannot do that swinging around the glow stick of destiny.
Okay, but I was going to say, and I mentioned this also in the review, was when Luke gets the lightsaber and he just kind of chunks it.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, that was all everybody's fan theories that were going on for a couple years, like, screw that. We're doing totally something completely different.
Exactly. It's not going to go the way you think.
Now, at the end of the movie, the kid had a broom in his hand, but it wasn't him trying to be a Jedi with you pretending the broom was a lightsaber. No, it was the ring with the rebel symbol on it, the rebellion. And you know what that gentleman had?
And what is that?
Hope.
Right.
Absolutely. That is what Star Wars truly is.
It's the thing that inspires imagination.
It fires the mind. I can't say it any better than that. It is about you inside knowing that you can be better. That's what Star Wars is. So that's my rant.
Okay, all right.
That's my rant there. So briefly, let's talk about a little DC news. Goose, what do we have waiting for us in the wings here?
Oh, it's like an early Christmas present from Warner Brothers to good old Goose over here.
Well, let's start with the disclaimer.
Yes.
We don't want anything bad to personally happen to Zack Snyder.
No. But professionally, I'm kind of okay with this decision. However, there is a caveat, which I'm perfectly okay with too.
Okay, and what is
on
the decision?
Thursday, Variety said they have no plans for Zack Snyder to direct any more DC movies.
He's done.
And the crowd and the townspeople rejoiced. In fact, I have a quote from the townspeople.
Dunskies, broskies. And the peasants rejoiced.
So, no immediate plans for Zack Snyder, director of numerous DC comic titles for the studio, including Justice League, to direct another DC movie. Now, he still has his movie deal with Warner Brothers, and he still will be listed as executive producer on Wonder Woman 2 and Aquaman. However, that is about it. He won't be directing a DC movie. His production deal remains intact, and still will be executive producer on the upcoming DC films Wonder Woman 2 and Aquaman.
Now again,
John Berg is gone too.
But now Zack Snyder had to step back from the Justice League because his daughter committed suicide.
Yes, and so that was a sad thing.
Yeah. Whoa. Wow. Okay. Now keep in mind the guy does work hard, but he's just not the right fit for the DC.
No, and they want to bring him back and do the Watchmen part of the Doomsday Clock if that ever becomes a movie. I'm fine with that.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, just keep him away from the actual DC main heroes.
It's time for him to move on. It's time to bring in some new blood.
It is. And speaking of time to move on.
Yes.
We want to go ahead and we want to talk about our Geeky Christmas.
Yes.
And this is brought to you by our friends over at Southtown Games. Southtown Games, located on the south side of San Antonio off of Pleasanton Road and Loop 410. We have a great time every time we go there.
Heck yeah.
Cards, games, decks, accessories, bags, boxes.
Paint.
It's a great Christmas destination. Paint, dice, all sorts of, just maps, mats, anything you could possibly want.
Almost
down
like it's your tabletop gaming headquarters.
Almost like. It is. I'll tell you what, it is the Get Your Geek On Tabletop Gaming Headquarters. That is our friends. Makes for a great Christmas gift. If you're still looking for something, head on down to Southtown Games. All right, so what would you want for your geeky Christmas? If you could have anything you wanted other than Scarlett Johansson, what would it be for your... Yeah, I knew y'all were going to go there. No, no way. No Daisy Ridley either. Come on now. What would you want for your geeky Christmas? I want the Iron Man suit.
I know what we want to get you.
Oh, God help me. No.
It's a life-size cardboard stand-up of Felicity Jones.
No.
Signed.
We're planning it.
Wrong. That's not... No, But I would want the Iron Man suit. Being able to fly anywhere I want, get a little help from Jarvis, being able to blow things up. It would make traffic
it'd be Friday, wouldn't it?
I wouldn't have to. It would be Friday. You're right. I certainly wouldn't have to worry about traffic on 1604 anymore. So that would be something.
You just have to worry about people from Randolph shooting you down.
I'd make a deal with the Air Force. That would that'd be okay. Minion, what would you want for your geeky Christmas?
Oh, I want my own Millennium Falcon.
Ooh. Oh, that would be fun.
That would be cool. I mean, traffic, not a problem. Going over to Mexico to see wifey, not a problem.
And the dice, of course, too.
And of course,
have
the dice. And at the same time, you have, a Chewy along with me.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. Where would you park it?
Wherever I wanted.
Absolutely. Goose, what about you?
Yes.
What would you want?
I would like the super soldier serum.
Oh, okay. Well, that would take care of the weight loss. You can pass that a little over so we can get some weight loss done too.
Possibly.
Little transformation for all
Steve
of us.
Rogers didn't lose weight; he gained weight.
Well, yeah, muscle, yeah. A quick note. Let me wrap up here by talking about our friends over at Pro Defense Pest Control. Pro Defense Pest Control is ready for winter. The temperatures are fluctuating all over the place. The bugs are fluctuating all over the place. They've been my pest control people since before I even had the show, so you know that when I say to talk to these guys about their free estimate. Pro Defense Pest Control. All right, so that's going to wrap it up here. If you want to tweet at us, you can find us at GYGO_official. For Goose, for Minion, and for myself, I want to thank all of our sponsors. I want to thank you for listening. Be excellent to each other, and make sure to listen to Get Your Geek On every single day. Good night, everybody.